Shalom, welcome back to Take Time for Torah. This week is Parshat Beshalach, or as some would call it, Shabbat Shirah. This is the Shabbat where the Israelites go free from Egypt. They cross over the Sea of Reeds, and of course, if you remember Cecil B. DeMille's incredible movie, Ten Commandments, all of the Israelites walking across the water on dry land until the water closes up and swallows the pursuing Egyptians. And then on the other side, the Israelites break out into this joyous song, Shirat Hayam, this song which touts the characteristics of God as a God of war, a God who is a protector, as a God who has saved them and taken them from slavery and brought them to freedom. And there's one little last song, Miriam's song, which goes, Shiru Ladonai, Ki Ga'o Ga'a, Sus V'rochvo Rama Vayam. Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. Horse and driver, he has hurled them into the sea. As a sense, it's a coda, kind of finish it out, that finally the Israelites are free from the enslavement of Egypt and the Egyptians. But I want to move along a couple of verses later. Of course, the Israelites were ready right after they sang this joyous song, and they were suddenly free. Now they have complaints. Well, Jews always have complaints, I think. They complain about the waters, that the waters are bitter. And so God tells Moshe to take care of it. By throwing a certain kind of wood into the waters become sweet. And then what struck me close was at the very end of this section, it says, Ki ani Adonai rofecha. See, for I, the Lord, am your healer. And it really struck me as interesting because the previous part of the verse talks about God bringing diseases endemic to the Egyptians. In a sense, there's a switch. God has gone from the God of protector, of beating down the enemies, to the God of healing, the God who will lift up and raise up. And in a sense, it's flipping a switch and going from the negatives to the positives. You see, this idea of healing is a very positive concept. According to Judaism, if you were to visit a sick person, you take away a 60th of their illness. Now, this doesn't mean that if 60 people visit a person, they'll be well. Of course not. But it means we diminish just a little bit of their illness and their pain and their suffering because we show up and we take care of them. And I was also thinking about this idea that Ki ani Adonai rofecha, that for I am the Lord, your healer. In a sense, God is lifting us up and bringing us to new levels. You know, God is the ultimate source of healing, absolutely. But it's also a message to us that at times when we tear down, when we beat up, when we are negative, that can hurt us. But there's also times when we look at the glass not as half empty, but the glass is half full. And we look at the incredible blessings that we have. And that what comes out of the suffering and the pain also can be great, great joy. Because we visit the sick. We bring a smile to their face. We know that they're continued to be loved. We know that they have had human contact. So too, the same as with everything that we do in our lives. The most important thing we can do is to smile at another person, to say thank you, to open the door for someone. When we are leaders, if we are leading a group, to be positive, to be a cheerleader, to allow people to do those things that are important to them, and at the same time kind of bring everyone along. That's what Moshe's job is to herd along everyone and to get them all on the same page. The best example I can come up with, which is a technological example, is this something called Time Bridge that I learned about a year or so ago. It's great. You put in up to 5 calendar dates, and those people you want to schedule a date also will mark yes, no, maybe, and it will do the work of bringing everyone onto the same page. That's the Torah. The Torah is like Time Bridge. It puts us all on the same page. We read the same words as everyone in our community. Whether we are Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, Ultra-Orthodox, everyone is reading Parshat Beshalach this week. So everyone is reading the words, Ki ani Adonai rofecha, for I, the Lord, am your healer. And in a sense, that's what it's all about. Putting us all on the same page. Putting forward the values that are important in Judaism. And what's important? The importance is how we respect one another. How we look at each other created B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image. And most importantly, that we treat each other with respect. Healing comes not from beating upon each other, but from caring for each other, for loving each other, and for taking care of each other. Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, is an internal song. It's an internal song of joy that we express to God. So I encourage you this week to find your internal song and express that joy to God. And in that way you will find healing. And so will everyone around you. Shabbat Shalom. I look forward to seeing you next week for Take Time for Torah.
Shabbat